Differing by Isable Myers-Briggs. Combination of perception and judgment. The TF preference, thinking or feeling, is entirely independent of the SN preference, sensing or intuition. Either kind of judgment can team up with either kind of perception. Thus, four combinations: ST, sensing plus thinking; SF, sensing plus feeling; NF, intuition plus feeling; NT, intuition plus thinking. Each of these combinations produces a different kind of personality characterized by the interests, values, needs, habits of mind, and surface traits that naturally result from the combination. Combinations with a common preference will share some qualities, but each combination has qualities all its own, arising from the interaction of the preferred way of looking at life and the preferred way of judging what is seen. Whatever a person's particular combination of preferences may be, others with the same combination are apt to be the easiest to understand and like. They will tend to have similar interests since they share the same kind of perception, and to consider the same things important since they have the same kind of judgment. On the other hand, people who differ on both preferences will be hard to understand and hard to predict, except that on every debatable question, they are likely to take opposite stance. If these very opposite people are merely acquaintances, the clash of views may not matter. But if they are coworkers, close associates, or members of the same family, the constant opposition can be a strain. Maybe many destructive conflicts arise simply because two people are using opposite kinds of perception and judgment. When the origin of such a conflict is recognized, it becomes less annoying, and easier to handle. An even more destructive conflict may arise between people in their jobs when the job makes no use of the worker's natural combination of perception and judgment, but constantly demands the opposite combination. The following paragraphs sketch the contrasting personalities that are expected in theory and found in practice to result from each of the four possible combinations of perception and judgment, sensing plus thinking. The ST people rely primarily on sensing for purposes of perception and on thinking for purposes of judgment. Thus, their main interest focuses upon facts because facts can be collected and verified directly by the senses by seeing, hearing, touching, counting, weighing, measuring. ST people approach their decisions regarding these facts by impersonal analysis because of their trust in thinking with its step-by-step logical process of reasoning from cause to effect, from premise to conclusion. In consequence, their personalities tend to be practical and matter of fact, and their best chances of success and satisfaction lie in fields that demand impersonal analysis of concrete facts such as economics, law, surgery, business, accounting, production, and the handling of machines and materials. Sensing plus feeling. The SF people, too, rely primarily on sensing for purposes of perception, but they prefer feelings for purposes of judgment. They approach their decisions with personal warmth because their feeling weighs how much things matter to themselves and to others. They are more interested in facts about people than in facts about things, and therefore they tend to be sociable and friendly. They are most likely to succeed and be satisfied in work where their personal warmth can be applied effectively to the immediate situation, as in pediatrics, nursing, teaching, social work, selling of tangibles, and service with a smile jobs. The NF, intuition plus feeling people, possess the same personal warmth as SF people because of their shared use of feelings for purposes of judgment. But because the NFs prefer intuition to sensing, they do not center their attention upon the concrete situation. Instead, they focus on possibilities such as new projects, things that haven't ever happened but might be made to happen, or new truths. Things are not yet known but might be found out. The new project or the new truth is imagined by the unconscious processes and the intuitive perceived as an idea that feels like an inspiration. The personal warmth and commitment with which the NF people seek and follow up a possibility are impressive. They are both enthusiastic and insightful. Often they have a marked gift of language and can communicate both the possibilities they see and the value they attach to it. They are most likely to find success and satisfaction in work that calls for creativity to meet a human need. They may excel in teaching, particularly college and high school, preaching, advertising, selling of intangibles, counseling, clinical psychology, psychiatry, writing, and most fields of research. Intuition plus thinking. The NT people are also use intuition, but team it with thinking. And although they focus on a possibility, they approach it with an impersonal analysis. Often they choose a theoretical or executive possibility and subordinate the human element NTs tend to be logical and ingenious and are most successful in solving problems in a field of special interest, whether scientific research, electronic computing, mathematics, the more complex aspects of finance, or any sort of development or pioneering technical areas. Everyone has probably met all four kinds of people. ST people who are practical matter of fact, the sympathetic, friendly SF, NF people who are characterized by enthusiasm, insight, and the NT people who are logical and ingenious. The skeptic may ask how four apparently basic categories of people could have gone unnoticed in the past. The answer is that the categories have been noted repeatedly and by different investigators or theorists. Preference for EI, extroversion or introversion, affects a person's choice to focus the dominant favored process on the outer world or on the world of ideas. SN, sensing or intuition, to use one kind of perception instead of the other when either could be used. TF, thinking or feeling, to use one kind of judgment instead of the other when either could be used. Judgment or perception, to use the judging or the perceptive attitude for dealing with the outer world. Extrovert types, the afterthinkers, cannot understand life until they have lived it. Attitude relaxed and confident. They expect the waters to prove shallow and plunge readily into new and untried experiences. Minds outwardly directed. Interest and attention following objective happenings, primarily those in the immediate environment. Their real world, therefore, is the outer world of people and things. The civilizing genius, the people of action, and the practical achievement who go from doing to considering back to doing. Conduct in essential matters is always governed by objective conditions, spend themselves lavishly upon external claims and conditions which to them constitute life. Understandable and accessible, often sociable, more at home in the world of people and things than in the world of ideas, expansive and less impassioned. They unload their emotions as they go along. Typical weakness lies in a tendency toward intellectual superficiality, very conspicuous in extreme types. Health and wholesomeness depend upon a reasonable development of balancing introversion. Introverted types, the four thinkers, cannot live life until they understand it. Attitude reserved and questioning. They expect the waters to prove deep and pause to take soundings in the new and untried. Minds inwardly directed, frequently unaware of the objective environment, interest and attention being engrossed by inner events. Their real world, therefore, is the inner world of ideas and understanding. The cultural genius, the people of ideas and abstract invention who go from considering to doing and back to considering. Conduct in essential matters is always governed by subjective values. Defend themselves as far as possible against external claims and conditions in favor of the inner life. Subtle and impenetrable, often taciturn and shy, more at home in the world of ideas than the world of people. Intense and passionate, they bottle up their emotions and guard them carefully as high explosive. Typical weakness lies in a tendency toward impracticality versus conspicuous in extreme types. Health and wholesomeness depend upon a reasonable development of balancing extroversion.